here this morning. We have many distinguished guests. Of course, we have many city and district officials that are here, along with the YMCA, who is our partner for the Jack's Journey, and various community partners. We are excited to share our community and our school here with you all today. The partnerships that are here today are committed to doing what is right for children, and for that I will always be grateful. I also have the privilege of introducing a very important person in our school district. Dr. Willis is passionate about our schools, our communities, and of course our students.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, boys and girls. How are you this morning? Well? Yes. And to all of our community members, our mayor, our board chair, this morning is an exciting morning for Duval County Schools, and specifically for Sallye Mathis. I'm thrilled to be at Sallye Mathis, and it will be one of the schools that will benefit from the Jacksonville Journey program supported by the city of Jacksonville. And as an educator, I have researched and studied the impact to examine what happens when students have an opportunity to be a part of after-school programs. We know that there are positive impacts that happen. Children who participate in after-school programs where there's emphasis on academic support, the research shows that these students demonstrate improved students, always under the pressure, under the gun, where they ask, so how is this positive impact happening? So, sort of, what is our return on investment? We know that there are great returns on their investment for our students, especially our students who may be at risk or struggle more. Initiative through the Jacksonville Journey for Sallye Mathis. These are interventions like have after-school help sessions for students, additional opportunities to be involved in technology. Just speaking with some of the staff who say there are opportunities for project-based learning. We're excited about what's happening. So you all interest in investment in the children through Jacksonville Journey and the after-school programs. And like us, I know that all of these community members and organizations who are here have a keen interest in looking at how these after-school programs contribute to raising student achievement for our students, demonstrating positive effects of their health, social, emotional well-being, and it lowers for us the participation in the risk illegitimate activity when students are not well supervised or helped in our continued successful after-school programs at all of our school locations. So at this time, I would like to introduce the Duval County School Board Chairman and Representative of District 4, the Honorable Paula D. Wright. Good morning. How are you all, little ones? That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. I want to first thank the council persons who are here today. And when and there are many, there are 14 council persons here with us. And I think that's noted. They are council persons Love, Ferraro, Becton, Bowman, Reggie Brown, Katrina Brown, Kazuri, Gaffney, Schellenberg, Crestabini, Gulliver, Wilson, Newby, and Boyer. When I think about education, I think about us being a family, and a family comes together and support each other. To say thank you. Thank you for supporting the efforts of not just Duval County Schools, but more importantly, these children before us, and these parents and guardians and community advocates who are here to help us as we move forward to continue to provide every student in every class, every day, a quality education. I also want to take this opportunity to echo the words of our superintendent, Dr. Willis, when she spoke to the fact that after-school programming supports and encourages and lifts the confidence level of our students. And we know, while the primary duty of educating students rests in the hands of Duval County Public Schools, we can't do this work alone. That's why it's so important for the partnerships, the WISE, the Jacksonville Journey, the Jacksonville, so many other organizations who come together for the benefit of students. Additionally,
many parents rely on the after-school support program to provide additional support and services and tutoring, and quite frankly, an opportunity for their children to be somewhere until they can get from work. So we take this opportunity to say thank you. We need your support. We need this family unity. We need this opportunity to say to each and every one of you here today, join us, support us, and help lift the educational path for all students, in particular, in this particular program here at the Y, for our students at Sallye Mathis. And Mr. Mayor, I did not have a say in terms of where this event would be. How about that? So, Mr. Mayor, we support your strong support for education, in particular in the after-school programming. At this time, I'm just tickled pink. I have the privilege and the honor to introduce Alexandria Andrade. Did I say that right? Right. Andrade. She is a 5th grade student, girl. But you know, in her spare time, she minds and she enjoys miming. So, Alexandra Andrade, please come forward to me. And before she begins, let me acknowledge the sheriff, Sheriff Williams. Thank you for being here.
Mayor Lenny Curry is the 44th mayor of Jacksonville, Florida. He was sworn in as mayor on July 1st, 2015. He is a fluent native and graduate of the University of Florida. Before becoming our city's mayor, he was the co-founder and CEO of the ICA School. Mayor Curry and his wife Holly have 3 children who all attended Duval County Public Schools. The mayor is very active in the Jacksonville community, and by Tom Coughlin. Finally, for anyone who did not already know this, he loves football, Jacksonville Jaguars, and our city. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present
Alexandria, that anybody that stood before a podium to speak publicly before people with cameras everywhere and journalists, I still get butterflies. So, good job. Thank you. The sheriff, the state attorney, and the public defender, thank you for being here and demonstrating that what we talk about, and that is prevention, is the most important piece of what we do. Your presence here speaks. If you'll join me, please come up. Sorry to put you on the spot. I think it's important. I think it's important that this community see that we are unified on our children. So I think many of you thought we might be here today to talk about the after-school funding, some of the after-school programs that weren't going to be funded. And that certainly is happening. That legislation is being introduced, and we will be able, through the Children's Commission, to fund some programs that weren't previously funded. But I'm here today to talk about reform, real reform on how we serve our children with these programs. Let me just, my exposure, my real interaction and exposure with children that needed someone, not one, multiple people to fill gaps. And it started long before I was in office. About 10 years ago, I met a lady named Miss Lucille that lives in Lakeland, Florida. You can actually Google her and find a story on her. She was 93 years old and had custody of 6 kids ages 2 to 11. Now, my wife and I spent enough time in and around and with that family to see the love she was pouring as one person into those kids, the discipline, feeding them, helping them get an education and get to school. And as I thought about today's event, you often look back and see things you didn't see. I was reflecting on where I am today, and a full recognition that I didn't know then. It's not at risk, they're at hope, do not fall through the cracks. I have interacted with countless young people over the last couple of years that have been in and out of foster care, bouncing around. Kids that have seen violence, young ladies, young women that don't have role models in their lives. None of this are their faults. Specifically, I remember the conversation with a young teen. In fact, Bishop John Guns is here today, and he introduced me to a group of young men a couple of years ago. And I remember vividly one of them saying, "My family needs help with food and providing. And when I walk out the door every day this summer and see the drug dealing going on the corner, I have to make a decision." He has what they need. Friends, we have to wrap our arms around these at-home kids. And much of that has been done for years. To be sure, the Jacksonville Children's Commission has been around for many years and has served many children and served them well, as exemplified by some of the programs we're talking about today. And the Jacksonville Journey, W.C. Gentry and I have spent a lot of time talking about the good work, the specific focused work that the Journey is doing, that I will expect to continue in this new organization that follows children. It's not going to be an easy road, but we've got to get it right. And in one-on-one interactions, when you have a child with the right network and people around them and love them, and you hold them accountable, they're going to be productive, they're going to chase their dreams and their hopes, and they're going to have opportunities. Over the last 10 years, the city of Jacksonville has spent $116 million on summer camps and after-school programs. And I'm here to say, when you can measure something, you ought to measure it, and you ought to always be striving to make it better. So that's simply what we're doing today. I'm announcing the consolidation of the Jacksonville Journey and the Jacksonville Children's Commission, legislation that will be introduced today. The organization will be called the Kids Hope Alliance, the Jacksonville Partnership for Children, Youth, and Families. The legislation will have a very specific focus on at-home kids, the kids with the highest needs. And those will include funding the following: early learning literacy and school readiness, juvenile justice intervention programs, out-of-school programming, that's your summer camps and after-school programs, and preteen and teen programming. This organization will be focused on at-risk kids in these areas. The organization will have a seven-member board. I will appoint those members. That board will be empowered to hire a CEO and management, and will also be tasked with meeting with the subject matter experts on how to serve kids, many of which I've spent time with over the last couple of months. They will also be tasked in the legislation to looking at programs that work. For example, there's a Jacksonville Journey program right here that we require that they not throw the baby out with the bathwater, but they look at programs that work and they continue on. There will be a 6-month transition period, so the Jacksonville Journey and the Children's Commission will run for 90 days with their existing boards, and if there needs to be an additional 90 days till we transition into the new organization with a new board, we will. With that, I would like to thank every single member of City Council that is here today. Each one of you being here, we've spent over the last couple of days one-on-one meetings specifically about these reforms. And your presence here today, your support of this legislation is support of these kids and all of the kids of Jacksonville. So again, my deep gratitude, you see the community's deep gratitude for making Jacksonville's kids #1. And I can never get away from football. This guy here's wearing number 55. That was my number in high school. Sorry to put the attention on it. All right, guys. So let's move forward as a city. Thanks everyone again for being here, and We've got good years ahead.